Hey guys, welcome in. So tonight, like I said, it's gonna be a little bit different. We're doing a point of view instead of having me on. We're gonna have you guys see what I'm seeing. So it's gonna be a little bit different, maybe a little bit more fun. So I've got Kim still here though. So she's gonna be reading your comments for me, and she's gonna be telling me if I need to adjust the camera angles or anything along those lines. So it should be a fun time. Hopefully it doesn't cause you guys to get motion sickness though. So after this, I'll probably put a survey back up online and see which way you guys like it better, whether it be the regular shot or the point of view. So we've got almost everything ready. We've got our high-walled frying pan. Tonight, by the way, we're doing a creamy Tuscan chicken. Kim wanted me to bring up the fact that this actually can be paleo or dairy free. So I know we're using heavy cream tonight, but I have a couple friends that are lactose intolerant. And so you can actually do this with a cashew butter.
My mom says she misses your smiling face.
Oh, well, maybe at the end I'll take it off and actually close it out. So, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Creamy Tuscan chicken. So tonight, first off, what we're gonna need is we're gonna need 2 slices of bacon. And because, you know, bacon can stink whenever you fry it, well, I'm gonna get a lot of backlash on that, I know. But I'm gonna do something a little bit different. We have had this bacon in the fridge that's been crumbled for quite a while. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use that. So if you've got bacon strips at home, by all means, go ahead and get those in the frying pan. So I'm just gonna touch this with a little bit of oil. Then I'm going to add those bacon crumbles. They're fresh bacon crumbles, so it's not like they were just off of the, just out of the bag, like you know, the artificial stuff. So this is you know, real bacon. It's just been pre-fried. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that in here, and go ahead and get your bacon going, and get it fried off, which will be great. Again, we can do this a couple different ways. A couple things I'm going to show you different tonight. I know I called for 3 garlic.
It's still kind of, it's just
still low.
Weird, yeah.
I know we was talking about the three cloves of garlic, 3 cloves of garlic also, but I'm going to use minced garlic, so I'm going to add mine a little bit later than what you guys are going to. I'll tell you when to do it, and I'll also show you how to get that fixed whenever you're ready for it. So, but first off, what we need to do is I need to come over here and I need to get my chicken, and I'll probably go ahead and grab my chicken, and I'll probably go ahead and grab my heavy cream. So we'll get a heavy cream out, and we'll get it over here. And I've got my chicken here. Now I'm going to be using 2 different cutting boards tonight. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this open. Now, I know we talked about chicken thighs. You can use chicken thighs, you can use chicken tenders, but we're also going to use some chicken breast tonight. So if you have chicken tenders, you might want to go ahead, and if they're really thick, go ahead and cut them down. If you have chicken thighs, just leave them alone. You're fine just like they are. But if you have chicken breasts, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to have to cut these horizontally in half. So the way we can do that is we're going to take that and set it right there. I'm going to turn it around. Set it right there on our cutting board, and you're going to take the palm of your hand and just smash down on that chicken breast, and take the blade running horizontally and come in here and just slice right through it. That didn't turn out the way I was hoping. Too much of an angle on the knife. Let's try that again.
Sorry, you got this one turned off.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that's a little bit better. All right, so now we've got one breast cut. Come back in here and get the other breast. Again, we're going to come back in here, straight through it. That's what I wanted to do the first time. All right, so now we have our breast cut up. So I'm going to get rid of this nastiness. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and set that. Well, you know what? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go ahead and set that here on this paper plate so we can get it out of our way. All right, now I'm going to wash the knife. So I'm hoping everybody's week's been really good. I've actually been back to work, so I went back to work on Tuesday. A little strange to be in a prison setting, that is what it is, but Don't have any students yet. We're still trying to get the classroom set up to where we can have social distancing and all that fun stuff. So we've marked off the tables and the chairs where the students are going to sit. We're going to be 6 months apart. Or I'm sorry, 6 feet apart. I was thinking about the 4 months I was off. Dry this off a pinch. Alrighty, we're going to get rid of this cutting board. I see the white paper towel there, which is our chef's trick, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this black cutting board. We are ready to go. Now, this bacon's starting to smell pretty good, but I don't have as much smoke in my house, which is nice. This is releasing some of that grease that we're going to want in this chicken. It's smelling really good. All right. Now the next thing we can do, since we've got that done, well, I tell you what, let's go ahead and get this off. That way we can go ahead and get the chicken on and get it cooking. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, and I'm not going to try to screen out as much grease as possible because, like I said, I want that. You might want to leave those that are cooking bacon fresh, you might want to just leave about a tablespoon of oil in your pan. That'll help us later on down the road here, especially right now whenever we throw this chicken in here. So I've got my chicken breast that we already previously cut. So I'm going to go ahead and take it and lay it on in here. We're going to start cooking that probably about a medium low or medium. Basically what we're going to do is probably cook about 3 minutes on each side. So we're going to go ahead and get those browned on both sides. And then once we get them browned, then we can go ahead and cook through. Then we're going to go ahead and take those off the heat. But we're going to go ahead and get those cooking for us. So while they cook, washing my hands once again because I handled this chicken. So while they cook, what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to get our onion chopped up. So this recipe calls for thinly sliced onion. Again, you can do it a couple different ways. So I'm just going to come in here and I'm going to take off the outer skin. Take off the outer layer. Now we've got our onion. Now this, basically the onion can be any size you want. This was just one I had over in my bag. So I'm going to cut this down. Cut it in quarters. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in here and I'm just going to come back and slice it. Now I know it seems like a dice, but it's a thicker dice. I'm running all over the place. So you can see the different segments in that now. So I want to be able to, when I take a bite of this, I want to be able to have a piece of onion with my spoon. So I don't want it to be really fine chopped. Coarsely sliced. Recipe called for thinly sliced, but I just want my onion a little thicker. Alrighty. Now we can let that sit because we will use that in our next step. I need a set of tongs for my chicken. Excuse me, Riley. Let's grab a set of tongs. This will do. So once your chicken releases, you can go ahead and flip it over. See how nice and brown that is on one side. And it's starting to turn white, cook through, so that's a good thing for us. Chicken, whenever you're cooking chicken at home, you want to get to an minimum internal temperature of 165, which is going to kill out the salmonella. It's going to make you pretty sick. So I'll go ahead and ask, does everyone like this new shot or do they like the old stuff? I know that Cindy wants to see my smiling face, and like I said, maybe I'll go ahead and close out the segment with that. Kim wanted to start it with it, but I told her by the time we got going, I was really just washing my hands and getting started. So one thing we can do while we're waiting, I guess, let's go ahead and get a paper plate or a paper towel. We'll go ahead and get the onions put off on this. And what I'm going to do is, while that chicken's cooking, I forgot about my tomatoes. So we're going to need these in a later step, but we can go ahead and prep them now. So let's go ahead and just leave those onions right there. I've gotten my sun-dried tomatoes. They were in oil, so I went ahead and drained them off. So what we're going to want to do now, as you can see that oil, is we're going to go ahead and chop these. So we're just going to come in here and sort of dice them up a little bit because we don't want the full tomatoes in here. Like I was saying, for my friends that were lactose intolerant, cashew butter is one thing, or cashew cream is one thing that the recipe said that you can use. You can look up recipes for cashew cream and figure out the easiest way for you to do that. Again, we're just using heavy cream tonight, and just make things a little bit easier for us. Plus, everyone's not like, oh, I can't find cashew cream. Doing one of Kim's favorite things right now, because she loves tomatoes. Yeah, she's over there chuckling. She knows I'm lying. So it called for a half a cup. And so I started to put some in there. I said, do you think we need any more? And she says, no, not really. So, okay. All right. Let's see what we got with our chicken here. Yeah, chicken's looking really good. So again, a high-walled frying pan with a tight-fitting lid is known as a chartreuse. So that's what we're cooking these chickens in. Picked this one up at, was it Bed Bath & Beyond, I think? I can't remember. Yeah, Kim said she thought it was a Black Friday special. I'm hoping with this setup too, you guys can hear me a little bit better. I know I don't have my earpiece in tonight. The other night, or all the times up to this point, I've used my earpiece. And I just knew that was, it just seemed like it didn't come across very good. Okay, I'm going to need another plate for my chicken here. So I'll grab that. Sounding awfully good. So paleo, keto, and Whole30 friendly. That's what we can do tonight. Again, you'd have to sub some things out. You'd have to sub out for the heavy cream, for the cashew cream, obviously. And they go with an avocado oil, which obviously is keto friendly. But then again, we're using the olive oil here. But we might not even need it. So it just all depends on your pan. So once we get past this point, what we're going to do is we're going to look and see if the pan's dry. If it's dry, we're going to have to add that oil. If not, then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and throw our onions in. And at this point in time, what I want you guys to do, where we're going to let that chicken finish up, is if you're using the garlic cloves, what you're going to need to do, I'll use this onion as an example. What you're going to want to do is get those cleaned up and get them skinned like what we did last time, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your knife and just lay it on its side right on top of the clove. And then just with your other hand, just smack it. And you're going to smash that garlic clove, and then that's what you're going to use. You aren't going to dice it. You aren't going to, no cutting needed. You're just basically going to take that whenever I put the onions in after I take this chicken out, you're going to put those garlic cloves in. That way everything can start getting married and marinated. Okay? So again, we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this chicken. I think it's pretty much done. Again, these pieces were pretty thin, and they look pretty good to me. Again, just make sure that you got good brown on both sides. You don't see any pink. If you don't have a probe thermometer, I'm just having trouble with my tongue tonight. If you don't have a probe thermometer, you can cut one of those open and see if the juices run clean. If it runs clean and not pink or red, then you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and take these out and plate these over here on this paper plate. Smells good. All right. Now, again, you can see that it's really, really dry. Even though I'm not too concerned about stuff sticking that much, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and just hit it with a little bit of oil. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our onions. And at this point in time, for those that have the garlic cloves, not minced, but garlic cloves, I want you to go ahead and add those in with your onions. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and let these cook along with your garlic if you've got the garlic, cloves. If you've got minced garlic, we're going to add those in here in a minute. The reason why I'm doing that is because if you've got the cloves, they're going to be able to be a little bit more hearty and stand up to the heat. If you're using minced garlic, you have a good chance of burning that, and I don't want you to burn that garlic. So you notice it's picking up some of the brown off the bottom. So what you can do is go ahead and start swirling around and getting those brown bits up the bottom. Smells good, good, good. Another thing you could have done with this onion too is just left it as whole and just literally thin sliced rings. But again, I don't want to mess with because then it's just like a big string of onion in your mouth. So, okay, since I've got that going, I'm going to go ahead and add the 3 cloves of, I'm just going to quit. 3 cloves of garlic to mine. What's that?
Now everybody can see all my messy drawers.
Oh, yeah. Just letting that take on a little bit more. All right, now what we're going to do is going to turn that down to a little bit low. I'm going to go ahead and take our 3 cloves, put those right in. You're saying, my goodness, it looks like a lot of garlic. Well, this family likes garlic. Okie dokie. Okay, we're going to let that soften for, we had the onions in there, obviously a little bit longer than what the garlic's going to be in there for us. But it should have been about 4 or 5 minutes. Should be really good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and we're going to get our chicken stock. This calls for 1.5 cups of chicken stock. So we're going to go ahead and take that and we're going to go ahead and pour that on in. Now's a really good chance, if you didn't get to before, go ahead and start pulling up all of those chunks from the bottom, those brown bits from your bacon. Yeah, your bacon and your chicken, you're right. Chicken's probably going to stick a little bit too if you had a really, really dry pan. Okay. We got the chicken stock in there. Now we're going to add the sun-dried tomatoes. So we've got those still sitting here on the cutting board.
Are you sure?
She's making me second guess myself. She's over on the sideline. Are you sure? So there goes the sun-dried tomatoes. So now we'll come back over and get those sort of mixed in. And again, scrape up from the bottom anything that you've got down there. Those brown bits from your chicken or your bacon, that's going to be really, really good. Now what we can do at that point in time is we can go ahead and get this to a boil. So we're going to turn it up to a high. Make sure that you watch it though and not burn it. So once this gets back to a boil, then what we're going to do is we're going to stir in our cream. So, can you hand me the cream, please? So let that sit and get comfortable for us. So once that starts to boil again, we'll add in our our heavy cream, and we'll mix that in until it's smooth.
Bacon's not in there yet, huh?
No, bacon's still on the side. So that was the first thing we got done, and after we used the grease from that, we just went ahead and left it on the side. And this 1 tablespoon of grease on that. So as you see, my stock here is boiling. So now what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab the heavy cream, and I'm going to go ahead and pour that on in. And you're going to mix this in until it's smooth. It's looking yummy. Okay, I don't know why I keep putting that up on the side. I can leave it right there in the pan. All right. Now, once it's smooth, what we're going to do is we're going to add in our spinach.
How
Yes.
much cream was it? Half a cup?
That was 1.5 cups.
Of cream.
of cream.
Was it that much?
It was 1.5 cups.
Okay.
Okay? Or no, I'm sorry.
Yep, it was a half.
It was a half cup. You're right. Yeah, it was a half cup of cream. It's 1.5 cup of stock. So, yeah. All right. So now we've got that. We're going to add in our spinach. So I'll walk back over here and grab our spinach. Our spinach, which should be 2 cups of spinach. I went a little bit overboard, but that's okay. This is loosely packed. So there's that. We're going to go ahead and put our bacon back in. Just like that. Ray looked at me like, bacon? You said bacon. And then once that gets going, just like that there. Once everything's down and in. Now I need to set it up there. Now I'm going to take my chicken and add my chicken back in. Woo! It is juicy. There we go. All right. Now we are going to, we added all that back in, and we're going to cook until the sauce, we cook the sauce until the spinach is wilted, and then everything is combined. So that's the next step we're wanting to get to. So, honey, if you could do me a favor and get a couple plates down. Now, one thing you can do, since the chicken is so hearty and so big, you can actually just, it can stand by itself. But if you cut the chicken up into bite-sized pieces, then what you can actually do is either serve that over some cauliflower rice, serve it over some noodles or zoodles, and it makes a really great dish that way too. But like I said, it can stand on its own like what you're seeing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the breasts, and well, a couple of the breasts for us, and set it down, and then we're just going to top it with the actual sauce. I'm just stirring around to make sure that all of the spinach gets wilted really nicely for us, because it looks and smells amazing. We're going to go ahead and cook that for a little bit and let the sauce reduce. Now, if your sauce gets too thick, one thing you can do is add in a little bit more of your chicken stock, and that'll loosen it up just a little bit. But whenever you do that, you need to take off the heat, because then it's just going to continue to thicken up on you. So I like my sauce a little bit thicker than runny. Like I said, the longer you let this sit and boil, obviously, you have evaporation, and that causes your sauce to thick, which is known as reducing, which is taking the liquid out. And it also intensifies your flavors. So if you ever have a recipe that calls for reduction, that's what they're talking about. And like I said, it just really makes the flavors pop, whatever you're doing it. All right. I'm going to turn that off. And grab a chicken breast here. The piece that got away. Take the sauce over here. Just spoon that right over top. Boy. Now again, like I said, you guys can serve this over rice. You can serve this over cauliflower rice if you're on a keto diet. You can serve this over zoodles. You can serve it over pasta noodles, all that kind of good jazz. So that looks wonderful. So there it is, folks, the creamy Tuscan chicken. And so I hope you guys was able to join in. Now it's making me rotate my screen back. So there we go. There's my smiling face. So, okay. So that was Come Cook with Joe tonight. Again, we the creamy Tuscan chicken. I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys was able to come in and cook. If not, of course, it's going to be uploaded probably this evening up onto the YouTube channel, Come Cook with Joe. And we'll be thinking about what we can do next time. Be looking for that survey, though. I'm going to put that out and see what you guys like, see what you don't like, see what you'd much rather do, whether go back to the old format or whether you want to keep this one. So again, thanks, guys, for coming out, and we'll see you next time.